Hello and welcome to the semi-finals of the 18v18 tournament. This is my 18v18 debut today. We've got DC versus VLK and the first match has just kicked off. We can see here DC making that quick run across the field, getting themselves nice and spread out. And on the northern side of this map, we can see that they're trying to take those key locations, putting one squad into the middle, one squad onto the northern side. Taking a quick look over at VLK, you can see they're a little bit more condensed. Got one squad running to come take this key house here, just to the north of Checkpoint. With rockets coming in just there, you can hear them a little bit late. VLK absolutely stacking the centre, as you might expect, with just a couple here coming down to the southern side. Interestingly, DC absolutely favouring this southern side of the map, looking to control this open field here. VLK know that they cannot get their players across this open field, so they're just mostly going to be looking to keep DC at bay. The problem is, if they go down, then they're going to have a long run, as their SLs are going to be quite a ways away. I actually saw VLK squad leader go down in the distance there, which means there's going to be one less outpost close into the point, but DC are starting to take this point now very, very quickly. They've managed to get players within the hard cap, within the two-story on the point. VLK looking to take control of that barn, as well as that road. Steven's in a great location just to control one of the entrances here. If he can hold this, then it's going to make it very, very difficult for VLK to actually reinforce across through into the barn. Pavel with a hell of a rocket there, heading towards Paramax, but it does not connect inside the house. On this northern side, DC dominating the house, dominating the three-story to the north here, fully wiping out VLK's squad. And that's really what is giving them this cap pressure here, is the fact that this squad here absolutely ran through VLK and has truly dominated on this northern side. If they can now continue their push with Ghost Recon holding back, but Billy going a little bit more aggressive, they want to be getting their ATs and their automatic riflemen's up as well. S-Tech's going to be hanging out inside that house for the foreseeable future. I suspect S-Tech's not even going to move once this game. However, taking a look at this two-story house here, interestingly, Fekir has actually managed to come take this house away from DC. Now he's going to just hold this top floor as Raptor goes down. Raptor, one of the VLK fraggers, as far as I'm aware. Now, Phoenix and One True Bob don't seem to know that Fekir is actually in this house, which is interesting. He's going to find out though as he comes up the stairs, and Fekir dominates him as he comes up there. However, a rocket comes in. Fantastic rocket there coming in from Mike Lowry. And they retake this two-story house. And already you can see Winston pushing up. We had Alex Boss had pushed up as well. S-Tech still hasn't moved. Ghost Recon's, I'm surprised he's pushing up here, to be honest with you. I thought he'd hang back and wait for reinforcements, but they're clearly feeling confident to play against Ghost Recon here. Sorry, Ghost Recon's clearly feeling confident playing up against VLK here. However, he is pushing 2 or 3 people, so that's going to be difficult for him, no matter how good of a fragger he is. It's going to be pretty tricky. We can see on that southern side that Pavel and Triffid have actually managed to control that field. DC have not pushed across just yet. We can see that Driv there, Elway here, they're gonna go for that push. They're gonna make that run. Pavel here is just holding an angle up against Snip, I believe, seeing if he can pick him off. But I don't think so. I think Snip's in too much cover. And if he's not careful, Driven and Elway here, they're going to make this run. And if they can make it across here, then it's pretty much a game. I mean, they'll have taken total control over this southern field, total control over the northern house. And that's just going to mean that they're going to be able to wrap around and take the middle point as well, and take those waterways. Elway here does not get his outposts down, which is important. Pavel does win that. No, it's just 1v1 versus Driv. be interesting to see who peaks first around this corner. Oh, Driv actually goes down. That's great MG work there by Martin. That's really nice. Great play by him. Really nice call out. And we can see that DC have slightly overextended themselves, lost a couple of bodies, and VLK now are going to start dominating this cap sector. So with the 18s, 18v18s, you know, we do have, we only have the 4 square in play. So not much to actually play in. There's no going out of bounds. So this house becomes particularly key because there's no way that they can flank it from the north. It's, you know, you've only got one angle to look for. Now taking a look at their outpost setup, obviously they've got one outpost by the northern house. The Baker squad's outpost just push really, really high, playing really risky, which is interesting. Coast Recon's just dropped back down into checkpoint here.
Are they behind us?
And I'm actually gonna mute the command chat. Totally forgot to do that before I started streaming. What we can see here, Ghost Recon's just dropped into the hard cap, potentially just looking to get his outpost into there if Baker Squad loses his, but cleverly Stephen actually just moves his outpost just back a little bit as he's recognised that they've lost a little bit of ground. VLK are now pushing up pretty heavily here through the middle. The problem is they are not spread out in the slightest, and Fiekia and Raptor, two great fraggers, they could have just been hugging each other. But they believe there's an outpost up here, and they would be wrong. There's no outpost within this zone. It's a great rocket again, hitting the backside of that house. Not going to take down the, not going to take the outpost down from Baker Squad though. It's just tucked away. So it's not going to be rocketed just due to the fact that it's on the side of this house. Take a hell of a rocket to be able to do that. We can see on this northern side over here, if we zoom across over to Alex Boss and the Skyter, I've managed to push across this small field out of the trenches now. And while Larry is set up, he is not set up to take down these guys. And so we're going to see Benny having to hold this angle. The rockets, I guess, great rocket there in from Fiskenzi. And they do manage to get both of them, one of them with a grenade, one of them with a rocket. And now we're back to status quo with the house and Estek in his MG spot. Now they are looking to rocket him out. You know, great height on that rocket, however, does not get the angle on it. So Fiskenzi there, he's going to have to redeploy to go get more. And I believe he does so. Perhaps in the form of the suicide. Now Al-Sad, push it up, the squad leader. He's up against Nvidia, going to need to win this 1v1. It's going to be tricky for him though. Phoenix is going to have an angle as well if he peaks up too high, and Snip as well absolutely could get those angles. He's just hanging out in this building. Nvidia, he's going to look to push it. Al-Sad's kind of stuck in here, unable to get his outpost down, unable really to push. There's not much going to be going on there. Now, big smoke push here from DC with Phoenix, One True Bob. Looking to push it. Mike Lowry now joining in. We're going to just zoom down into this fight and see what it looks like down on the ground level. It's getting a little bit loud now with all the bullets. However, One True Bob goes down there to Chobotsk. And that DC push there comes to a bit of an end. Al-Sad goes down inside the barn as well. And it looks like Stevens now bringing his squad forward. And backed up there by Elwer here. He's still looking to get across this field. Unable to. Pavel and Triffid, really, they've been charged with this this southern field. And they're doing a fantastic job so far. Vadi has managed to push up and just take that little grain area. However, they've yet to break this southern field. Once they do, they're going to have great angles and stop any VLK pushes from the middle. However, pushing through this mid side and this northern side is looking so very tasty here for DC. Estek still, you know, he's pretty much unmoved up there. However, Billy, Winston, Alex Boss, and Ghost Recon, they're looking to push up pretty high. Billy's just holding back, looking like he's just going to try and farm kills from that range. And he can certainly take this angle here, though he's going to be blocked out by that smoke. We've got the MG again, he's back up. Larry, he's just going to use his ammo, firing through those trees. Firing towards Phoenix there. Great rocket there by Driv. onto that Charlie infantry mark. Again, once again, retaking that control of that barn. The VLK here, they look like they're getting stuck in along this hedgerow here, unable to push out. They are going to need to use those smokes effectively to try and take control of that barn. It's just going to be one step at a time, really, for them. Over on the southern side, looks like Pavel and Triffid have been wiped out again. Nvidia is unable to cross that field, though, and Vardy's just holding in place. Kinderick, he's just chilling. He's not going to get too many kills today, I don't think. He is taking shots, likely relying on pings. I don't think he's going to see too much from this range. But it's certainly possible for him to pick up a couple of kills down here. It does not look like they're going to break through this DC line anytime soon, and this northern side here is just absolutely locked down. VLK Larry, they're unable to mount up on this wall. It looks like their outpost from VLK is probably in and around this area. We're going to see if we can spot Chromosome spawning in to just see where exactly they are spawning in from, to see if they're going to be able to wipe this outpost. Now, they will always have the garrisons to spawn back on if that does happen. However, it's not always going to be the case. Yep, looks like their spawn point is just in here. Looks like we've got one outpost. It just sat behind this hedgerow. It does mean that when they come out of this area, they are bunched up, and Ghost Recon Squad have really pushed on far. And this is fantastic. This is really good news for DC. They can push up and just take this hedgerow. They can even retreat back, knowing that actually this VLK squad are going to have to come out of this little compound here from this garrison. The garrisons are not able to be destroyed by DC. They are invincible by virtue of the rules. However, Stephen's squad in the middle here have pushed up even further now, backed up by Michael Lowry, Overblast, by Onyx, Paramax, and One Shoe Bob. Even Kinderick has pushed up and have got across this field. Finally, they managed to get past Triffid and Pavel. And Martin is set up, and he is likely waiting for someone to peek around that corner here. He's just holding it. Now Driv is gonna get across this field. As is Vardy, as is Snip. Now Driv does know he's there. He easily takes out Martin. And now Kinderick's gonna try and control this open field at the bottom here, up against Triffid. Now the other VLK garrison is just tucked away over here, so this is where a lot of their forces are now coming from, as their outposts have been wiped. Now, this game's going to be lasting for half an hour, regardless of how this goes. So far we're just over 10 minutes through, about 13 minutes in, so almost at halfway point. And VLK have really pushed far across and have made up so much ground here. Due to the nature of the... I don't know where that rocket's going. Whoosh! See ya later. Due to the small nature of the maps, there's just so little flanking room. So DC are just going to set up, and they're just going to set themselves up as wide as they can. They're going to take the full width of the map now. And if they can win their 1v1s, VLK are absolutely going to struggle. Scarp Skyter there with a great rocket onto a medic. No, don't know why they've got a medic out, but can only presume he's the one chucking all these smokes out. Winston here, he's just tucked himself in, making himself a little nuisance. Takes out Viskenzi. He's got this fantastic angle here, just over this red barrel. And any sort of movement he sees, he's going to shoot at. Into the middle here, Al-Sad, he's chilling. He's totally surrounded. I wonder if anyone's going to notice him at all. Will Elway here actually turn around and have a look? Not sure if he will or not, but Al-Sad is absolutely chilling. And now, the issue with him staying alive here is his outpost has likely been destroyed, and he's not building another one, which means his whole squad now are going to be spawning all the way back in that garrison. There's no squad swapping. It's 3 6-man squads. There's going to be no ability to move. Now, it looks like these guys from this northern squad from VLK looking like they're ranging themselves a little bit more north, trying to get that spread across the map as well. However, it looks like Vardy is pushed up so far here. I'm not sure how much further he can push up. Not too much more, in fact. He cannot leave the blue zone. So Nvidia there is pretty much set up as far as he's ever going to make it. due to the nature of this open field. Same with Kinderick, so he can have a little bit of cover. Vardy can get a little bit more room if he wants to, but again, there's not too much cover if he pushes up any further, and I can ping some of my own squad, so look, that's as far as up as he can get, and there's no cover there, so he's just going to probably hold this hedgerow. Same with Driv, he's not going to go too much further, peeking the other side. Elwer here. He's just going to be chilling. There's going to be very, very little movement here for DC. As long as they win their trades, they're going to be absolutely fine as if they can cover each other. Now what that means is that VLK, they're going to know where DC are. If they can make those plays, like right now, this northern side's, you know, it's looking a little bit more empty. I know Ghost Recon squads just spawned back in. However, if they can win a couple of trades at once and then make that push, there is a chance that they can wipe Ghost Recon and reset them all the way back to the garrisons. And then it's a long way. It's going to be about a 50-second run for those DC guys to get back to where they were. However, Alex Boss is pushed up again. It does get taken out there by Trefford, who's come towards this northern side. Now Winston's recognising that they're going to get flanked from the midfields in the trench. Now the midfields, I suspect, are going to be is going to be this area. Each team's going to have their own sort of call-outs for this 18v18 tournament here. However, it looks like DC, they're looking pretty strong here. I think VLK, I don't know what the tactics are. I don't know what the 18v18 meta is. In terms of defense, DC are performing it as far as I can see. I don't see what else they could be doing. They're spreading out. They're taking ground nice and steadily, but they're staying split. They're each holding their own angles, and that's just going to make it impossible for VLK to win, because it's constantly going to be 2v1s. I think what they're going to need to do is they're going to need to mass up, and they're going to need to try and push. They're going to need to try and take one side. I think this northern side is probably the side they could take if they were going to go for a zone. That house on the northern side is vital, and that could truly ruin a lot of entrances for DC if they were to get reset at all. However, VLK, they just need to try and find these outposts. If they can take an outpost out and kill up a couple of guys, they reset DC, and suddenly it becomes a lot easier for them to push. So they've got to commit into one area. It's not to say you can totally give up one other side, so you can't leave the south totally open. You need to, just as Chobo here is doing, you've got to have one guy that's willing to just sit in a hedge and peek every so often, make himself a little bit of a nuisance. As here, he's looking at hitting Nvidia. Oh no, he goes for Kinderick and he gets him. Fantastic shot there into the distance. Now he goes for Nvidia. However, he does get taken out in the end. Does not win that trade. Looking at this map, there's not a lot of VLK players on it right now. And so it'll be interesting to see what their plan is. Looks like maybe another squad leader has spawned down here, which is a good indication that perhaps they're going to go for this side as a bit of a push. I think they've just got to commit into an area though. Because right now, DC, they're chilling. There's not a lot going on here for them. They do not need to push at all. VLK are absolutely massing on this northern side. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, this is a hell of a smoke push from DC. I think it might actually be VLK smoke, but they've just taken advantage of it. Now, will they take out this outpost? That's going to be key if Billy gets close to it, and he does take it down. Absolutely fantastic there from Billy. Really, really nice push. Now, VLK have got a couple of guys in behind now. They have managed to push this. Oh, he's sat right on the edge of the map, though. I think he's actually out of bounds. I'm not too sure he can be here. Referee doesn't seem to have noticed, though, and he comes back in. Does get 10 seconds grace, as far as I'm aware. I believe that's the rules, so... S7K8 there is in a fantastic position. Now, VLK don't get totally reset. Chromosome does get his outpost up, which is nice to see. And an S7K8... seems to know where that outpost is. He gets the grenade out. Ghost Recon seems to recognise that grenade's been thrown. What a grenade that is. Does not take the outpost out though. Just misses it somehow. No, Aztec sets up. If he's clever, he'll know to just shoot at that bush if he knows what he's doing. Doesn't seem to know that he's there though. Alex Boss takes him out though. And that's the main push there from VLK. Sniffed out once again from DC. With a good little bit of play and winning a couple of trades. Nvidia here, over on the northern side. I'm feeling kind of bad for him if I'm honest with you. There's not a lot going on. He can actually see, interestingly, he can see across here. Wonder if we'll see Kinderick come and somehow mount up over here. I'm not too sure if you can mount up on these. However, that'd be an interesting angle for him to be able to take with the MG, with his squad leader pinging from Elwood here. He could certainly pick up a couple of kills. Looks like in the chat that DC getting picked up by Quickfix for a little bit of rule breaking. Suspect going out of bounds. No, VLK really pushing here. 3 goes down. No trades at all. 4 goes down. S7K8 goes down. And finally they pick up 1 kill there on Billy. However, Pavel there, firing rockets into the distance. They clearly have no idea where their spawns are. I unfortunately do not have the benefit of VLK marks. DC once again utilising that VLK smoke to great effect. They don't need to throw their own. They can utilise VLKs, just time their pushes as they want to, as they look to try and take out those outposts. This AT kit is real dangerous due to the fact that they are running the M1 Garand. Now that outpost is it's in serious danger of being taken out right out in the open. Any sort of grenade here from Scarp might take this out, or Billy. However, S7KX wins a couple of trades, really nicely done. Can't capitalise as he reloads though. Looks to go take over this wall. Now he hops over nicely. It's good map knowledge. Does not win his 1v1 versus Alex though, and that's the real issue that they're facing at the moment. Now QuickNex has just let us know there's 8 minutes till the end of the round. I'm going to take a look at this middle side of the map. It does not look like there's been any movement down here. Nvidia's actually pushed up, so he's finally moved. It's taken him about 10 minutes, but he's clearly gotten a little bit bored, and he's pushed up a little bit. On this middle side here, you've got an absolute mass of DC players up against D-Word. Kill Overblaze to One True Bob, Snip, Phionics, all pushing up here. Overblaze misses a couple of shots. Classic. That's exactly what you expect from Overblaze. However, once again, DC going to utilise that smoke. Not quite as aggressively this time. Mike Lowry putting shots up range though through this little ditch and trench line. Chromosome goes down. He's just hanging out with a medic up here. Poor medic with his car 98. I'm not entirely sure you're in the right place, buddy. You're in a little bit of trouble there, out on his own. D-Word does get reset. Raptor and his come up and the medic goes down and Nvidia can push through. And on this northern side, totally wiped out, and DC are just chilling, not making ground up, not going to push it. Not with 8 minutes left. Looks like one squad might have got reset all the way back to the garrison here, as infantry gets spawned all the way back here. Now, I do wonder whether they should have had an MG up in this tower. I don't know what the rules are, whether you're allowed to set up here, because it is out of bounds. But I think you can shoot out from your own spawn. So I'm not, I feel like you probably should mount an MG up here to look to control this field. If you take a look at these angles that you can get from here, absolutely dominates that field. However, against an entrenched DC side now, it's going to become harder and harder to actually successfully do that. DC maintained a really good line here across the map. They could have got greedy and they could have got impatient. And Elwood here could have moved his outpost. However, just by leaving it down here and having his players born down here, they're going to catch any sort of push on this southern side. They're not too worried about the open field with the MG regularly set up down here. Al-Sad, he's going to look to make that run across the fields. Does have smokes out, however, it's just going to indicate that he's coming. Wonder if Ionics is going to turn and catch this little push up here. In fact, actually, he does indeed. Ionics here, he's the one in charge of controlling this little ditch and trenchway. You don't need a lot to control this at all, due to how straight and narrow it is. And the fact that they've constantly got friends and friends nearby, they're able to really capitalise on the fact that they can win those 1v1s, and if they don't, then they've got someone nearby to help them capture that terrain back. Ghost Recon here, and Alex Boss have pushed up very, very nicely. This is about as controlled as they've been on this northern side here. They certainly haven't made up ground as successfully as they have right now, for as long as they have. They can get another infantry to just come hang on the edge of this this barn. It'll be an even better space. S-Tech is in a fantastic spot here, able to control this little gap in the centre of the screen. Tamino goes down to the MG. He's able to just look into that wheat field. Picks up 2 headshots there. Fantastic MG work there. Really, really nice with the Browning. Chromosome has not made up too much ground. They're not pushing too far. Whole squad spawns in on D-Word's outpost, and they've really lost ground on this northern side now, and they're really getting compacted back into the playing area at this stage. They are absolutely stuck. Billy's pushed up. He's going to get that line of sight down now onto the outposts. At least onto one of those outposts. Gets 1. Gets 2 on Tamino. VLK Larry. MG does get Billy very, very nicely. Let's see if he can find Alex Boss as he pushes through. He is just shooting dead bodies though. This is the joy for Alex, is actually saved by dead bodies. Copper goes down here. As One True Bob now pushes across this field, utilising that smoke once again, and he pushes up. As he turns this corner, he's going to get lit up behind Fekia, picks him up. Raptors facing the other direction, chucking grenades, but there's no one to chuck them at. They don't have a lot down here. It's just Stephen McLowry, but they are some ways off, and that just shows the level of dominance DC have had. That, you know, Raptor thinks that he's sitting within grenade range, but he's absolutely nowhere near. Needs to double that grenade range, and here we see Alex Boss and Winston once again. They've pushed all the way through to take control of that, and that rocket might have actually taken down the outpost there, and was fantastic from Skapskaya over there. As I don't see that outpost anymore. It's just the one in the wheat field now, just in the centre of your screen where Chromosome's just spawned in. Now D-Word, it looks like he's going to start trying to break towards this southern side, but he's just going to meet a brick wall again. Quicknick's letting us know there's just 2 minutes to the end of the round here. And that says to me that this game's probably going to be over. Looks like Al-Sad is looking to try and break this open field on the southern side for the first time this game. Now there will be overtime if they are capping the point, I believe. However, I don't see them making the ground up, if you ask me. They've got a lot of depth in this DC defense now. Whole squad up here on this northern side, inside this little barn area. I mean, they're pretty much within grenade range of each other, but quite frankly, I think they're just trying to farm kills. They're just trying to steal each other's kills at this stage. Yeah, okay, Benny. He could make himself a bit of a nuisance. Those rockets coming in there from Blair. Doing no damage. VLK Larry's the one really keeping them at bay. Benny is doing a decent job. City in the chat there just let me know about the rules about not being allowed to be above head height and not allowed to mount on things. Just as part of my earlier comment on why they're not using these walls, and absolutely, and that's you know, that's part of the balancing act that they've gone for with these 18v18 rules, I certainly think it does not favour some teams, as I understand that you know, one team's always going to be better than the other. However, when you've got this house on your side of the map up here, such as VLK did, you'd hope they'd have been able to push and take that one first to try and counteract the fact that they're not allowed to go above head height. However, that looks like that's going to be the end of game 1, and so we're going to be seeing a couple of map flips here as we look to move into game 2. So the way this is going to work is if DC having won game 1, if DC now they win game 2, that'll be the end of VLK's run in this semi-finals here, and DC will move on to the EU finals. However, if VLK do manage to take this win, and I believe on this map Allies are slightly favoured compared to the Axis, both teams favouring to pick Allies. Sorry, so it could be that VLK come back into this and manage to win this this second game, and that'll put us into a third game, which is interesting. And that'll be an interesting run, because for that third game, VLK did win that coin flip to take it to Allies. However, with that dominant display from DC, it's going to take a lot from VLK to be able to push through. So hopefully they've got good strategies planned out, and they know what they're going to be going for in terms of their allied game. So we're going to see. It could be a little bit of time to get the map flips, because we do have to flip back to checkpoint to make sure that's the middle cap again. So it could take a little bit of time as we flip into hospice there. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and I'm going to see you guys again soon, very shortly, hopefully, for game number 2. Hello and welcome to game 2. We've got DC versus VLK. DC playing as the Axis on this one, and then VLK on the ally side. We can see VLK are pushing very heavily onto this northern side with a decent spread across the southern, looking to control these open fields. However, the DC push is pretty even now, if I'm honest with you. Looks pretty good here. From my perspective, DC Aztec seems to have a bit of an angle that he wants to go for, controlling one of the openings, potentially by the 3-story in the middle of checkpoint. Those rockets are coming in way too high from VLK. They've got to send those so much earlier if they want to make use of those. Now, we can see here DC have taken control over this northern house. And they've picked up a couple of kills. It's just Chromazon left alive. However, in terms of strong point control here, VLK are looking pretty good. Tamino here inside the 2-story, and he just needs to stay alive, allow them to control that, not let them peek out of those windows. And Magic here, I don't know, I'm not entirely sure, buddy, but I don't think Medic is to play. Using that M1 carbine, just get yourself an M1 Garand and get yourself shooting. Driv here and Snip have managed to push all the way across the field, and Al-Sad goes down. Pavel once again alongside Trifid, looking to control this this southern field. Snip is going to peek here, see if he can pick up a couple of kills, but he cannot. Pavel takes him down. Really nice angle there from Pavel, shooting through the bush. Really nice from him. Back into the strong point. VLK have got really nice control here. This is fantastic. Now, if they can cap this, it could reset DC back a little bit if the SLs are not paying attention. I suspect that they are, if I'm honest with you. I can't imagine they're going to be caught unawares here. However, DC looking to just stack the middle a little bit more, trying to get a few more people within that zone. However, they're picking up kills, they're picking up trades. This is far better than the first game. However, we can see that Alex Moss in the chat is suffering from loadout bug at the moment. Now, okay, they've gone for a bit of a different tactic from DC here. DC looks like they've gone for that widespread, taking up every inch of ground that they can. Whereas VLK have left big gaps open, and they've absolutely stacked the strong point to get that cap in the mid. And then they've got 1 or 2 squads around the outside. The issue VLK are going to have here is trying to take this house, because it's just open fields around it. It's going to be incredibly difficult. Now, taking a quick look at the map, you cannot get around this outside here unless you peek in and out of the map. It might be possible to do so. However, you know, Chromo here is right on the edge of what you can consider game space. So it's going to be particularly difficult for them to push up that wall. He's just staying alive, keeping his outpost up. A Raptor has pushed up very nicely. However, on this this southern side here, Elwe're here and Nvidia are taking control of this hedgerow. Now, Martin has got his MG set up. He gets taken out by Nvidia pretty easily, though. You know, it's an interesting idea for Martin to set up to control this road, make sure no one crosses it. However, you know, you've got to trust your team to control that far up, and you need to be looking after your own zone of control. Taking a quick zoom out, Pavel's been reset all the way back. I can't even see Martin having spawned in. There he is. So they do have an outpost up in this this wheat field here. But Elwe're here and Nvidia have got really aggressive, and that's really nice to see. They've pushed up very well. DC looks like they've met VLK in the middle with numbers, and they're now starting to get that recap going on. Aztec's up in his house. Again, I don't expect to see him moving too far. But DC just getting those numbers up into the strong point. The strong point is a little bit of an even one, with it being on both sides of the road really nicely. Rockets from VLK just missing the mark once more. Now, Magic finally getting himself the M1 Garand rather than the carbine, so hopefully he can pick up a couple of kills. But Mike Lowry's pushing out incredibly aggressively here. Patronus does eventually get rid of him as Overplayers looks to take his place, and Snip pushes up with his STG. Snip's going to look to peek through that gap there. He's not going to catch Patronus, I wouldn't have thought. Oh, he does. He does. Snip doesn't even have the STG, he's got the G43. Don't tell me you're not level 9 Assault, Snip. That's shocking. Poor form, quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned. But VLK, they've managed to stall the cap, getting a lot of people inside that strong point. Taken out Overblaze as Vadi again looks to push up. He gets taken out. This is the first time here where DC not able to trade kills and take their space back again. Phyonix gets taken out as well. On this northern side, it looks like S-Tech has finally been he's decided to move, and he's pushed up a little bit, looking just on this extra hedgerow. So MG goes up and S7K8 goes down. Now Patronus is looking to make that little run around the outside, but it's incredibly difficult to get those timings right. And VLK are really just hanging on here in terms of these this cap sector numbers. The moment one of these DC players breaks through on the outside is the moment that they start to cap this point. Now Nvidia and Elway here have pushed up so far here. They've taken control of the wheat field. In fact, if they can get themselves an MG up even briefly on this wheat field, they are going to cause absolute chaos in the background of VLK. However, still good strong point control from VLK. They are putting rockets into that 2-story that Kinderick and Paramax are looking to get themselves set up inside of. However, they've lost all kinds of ground elsewhere on the map. It's really just a matter of time until DC takes total control of it. Now that they've got this wheat field, and now that they've pushed across the road, it's really just a case of they get across that road. Now, unfortunately for DC, there is no satchels within 18v18, so a satchel play onto that house is the usual play within Hell, at least. However, that is not allowed here. You know, what you'd usually see within within Hell, at least 50-50s, you see a satchel go up across the road on top of that house. You see a guy up on top of this roof here, taking peeking shots around the chimney. However, no head height, no satchels means that DC have just got to go win those 1v1s. But VLK still spawning heavily within that strong point and taking that cap back. Elway here has pushed all the way through this wheat field, and he's got his OP still up in the background. Kinderick, Snip, Driv, Nvidia, and Vadi from his squad looking to push down from the southern area. However, City is absolutely right. It is a better start for them within this game. Still controlling this point. They are just hanging on for their dear lives. Alex Boss has pulled out the flamethrower. No way is he going to get a kill. And he does. Takes out player as he pushes up even further. Is he going to get a second kill here? Alex Boss pushes up. Gets the second kill. Fantastic work. Is he gonna know Benny's on his right hand side as he peeks through this corner, sets himself on fire, kills himself? Oh, that was a bit special, bless him. You know, it was a good try. However, Kinderick got his MG set up, and you can see the absolute havoc that these DC fraggers are starting to cause. Phyonix finally gets in, takes down their outpost, and that is going to be the cap as far as I'm concerned. I do not see a way back into that. Within the minute and a half left on this cap. Now, what I want to see here is exactly what we're seeing from VLK. I want to see them taking it to Elway here squad, because really it was the fact that they were able to pincer in on checkpoint is the reason why they were able to take this down. If they had more presence, a more consistent presence within the southern side, if they had more resistance out here, they would have been able to pincer in. They'd have had to fight their way a little bit more. Now, DC have just taken advantage of that squad wipe. Now, this whole squad's had to spawn back at this garrison here, and the MG from Paramax is set up just to take control of this one particular angle here away from that garrison. That's fantastic play from Paramax. We can see Vadi and Snip pushed up really high. Chromosome's squad looking to hold up here against Steven. Overblaze is pushing up. Does it win his trade versus Viskenzi. However, once you Bob, Alex, Steven, and McLowry pushing up to help him out as well. Now we are seeing this play up here from Triffid and Blair. They're the ones that are going to look to try and run in and out of zone. Now, if Triffid can get this trade. Of course, he's not going to win a trade. He's got a M1 carbine. What's he playing at with the medic play? Not sure. Blair, though, does get that kill against Winston. And he can go take up some ground here now, if possible. Scav Sky does know he's there. The assault player. Did play 80 in the first game, but he's been given that STG. Nice play there from Blair. Now he's looking to just run around the outside. He does have free roam now on this northern side. They are going to know he's there at this stage. However, he could get him in behind Ghost Recon squad with a little bit of patient play, but Ghost Recon's outpost is so deep there that it's going to be tricky to get around it. Players just got to play it so carefully now. However, Alex Boss, Phionics have pushed up incredibly far. Your Paramax still picking up kills from that garrison. Still getting trades up there. We want to see Al-Sad not running across open fields. And this is the problem with the southern side now is... Pavel's just assuming he's going to get killed off this this outpost. And indeed he does. Nvidia or Driv or we're here there picking up the kill. However, they're going to know that they're spawning out that way. So they're going to start getting farmed off that outpost if they're not careful. This is the problem with this southern side, though. It's just open fields until you get into the wheat field. And even then, players like Nvidia and Driv can get a little bit of height on these hedgerows to try and just look over the top. And, you can get that little bit of height. Just enough to be able to make out players within that wheat field to pick up those trades. Now, these... VLK's best bet now is going to be trying to push through probably this waterway or the road, and the road is what they've chosen to go for. Smokes have gone up. Vaddy, One Tree Bob and Snip are kind of getting suckered in here. Snip quite, he doesn't need to join the two players. You only need two there. Control that waterway. One to push, one to hold. Go win that trade. However, VLK, they are starting to win a couple of gunfights on this road here. Mike Lowry's out in the open. He is in a bush. Stephen goes down, overblazed up the road as well. However, he might go down to this MG if he's not careful. And on this northern side, this little sneaky play has gone down, unfortunately, for VLK. Player and Magic were the players that were looking to make that move across the field in and out of bounds. However, now we can see Ghost Recon Squad has well and truly kind of captured this area. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ghost Recon move his outpost up at this stage. It would be a relatively safe place to put it. He can just keep tabs on whether Steven's squad gets wiped, just as it has half happened there. And however, with One Tree Bob and Alex still alive, it's unlikely to get taken out due to the fact that they've got this open field here that they can take control of. Patronus has actually managed to crawl his way across this field. I think he's still crawling. Let's take a look. He is still crawling. Interestingly enough, he's just about going to make it across. He's going to meet Kendrick's MG straight away, though. Doesn't even make it all the way across as he takes out Patronus. And then we see players going down in the distance, just getting farmed off that outpost. Taking this panning view across the field here, we can see DC spread it's not as thin as it was in the last game, just due to the nature of the map. There's less places that they can spread out to, with a couple of massive open fields for them to contend with. However, this is going to be a detriment for VLK more than it is for DC, because DC can just hold those couple of key areas if they really want to. Vaddy and Mike Lowry still alive, probably not necessarily getting any kills. They don't need to get kills, though. They can just stay alive in those areas. They're going to be a nuisance in and of themselves. Vaddy here absolutely controlling. As I say that, he gets taken out over there from Patronus. However, you just need one guy sitting around this waterway. You can hear as they come up. You can call it out to whoever else is nearby. If we get close to his, we're going to hear him running through this waterway. And that's going to be, easy kills for anyone that can hear him. Mike Lowry takes him out there, I think. As we go. So we've got 15 minutes left till the end of the game, and DC have pushed up so far here, making themselves a real nuisance. But look, here's the thing. They can sneak a squad leader through this. They can. DC are leaving this open. It's not going to take much to just sneak your way through. I don't think, Paramax might be looking. Maybe Sky is looking. But by running just 1 or 2 infantrymen through this area, it's not going to be enough. You've got to get a squad leader through. Get your whole squad spawned behind them. And you've got to take it so slow. They already know he's there. So they can send someone across if they want to. And they're going to realise this waterway is totally open. Now, I recognise you can't lay down, you can't crawl that waterway. But it is possible to sneak it if you just move slow and steady. DC have pushed up so far. I think they are right on the edge of where they're allowed to push to. Look at this. Phyonix is just, he cannot go further. Sky or Winston, they cannot push any further than they already are here. So Chromosome squad, they're not going to make any movements here. There's no point in them being here. This is the thing. With 18v18s, you cannot, once you've hit a certain limit in terms of how far you can push, you just give that zone up because they're not gonna make any ground through this DC team. They've got a full squad stacked in depth, and so even if you get 1 kill, you're just gonna get traded out. 1 trade for 1 trade. Raptor's got the right idea. Take him out waterway. That's the open zone. Now what a rocket that is from Mike Lowry. Fantastic hit in Raptor there. Just has that peak on him. That's the zone you've got to go. That was not a great rocket from whoever shot that one. Alex Boss, I think he might have been totally miscuing that one. But I'm only seeing a couple of squad leaders here. I'm seeing Chromosome. I'm seeing Al-Sad. DeWard has also gone onto the southern side, and that's risky plays because, quite frankly, it is open. Even once you get across this wheat field, it's more open fields. Now, you can take this hedgerow down and into the back of checkpoint. That might be the play that they're looking to make. Get 1 squad and push them directly towards checkpoint and 1 in behind. That could be the play that they want to do. However, you can see here DC have recognised the danger and they've sent across 1 True Bob and Mike Lowry. And that's that matter closed now. This waterway is over. They're not going to get a squad leader snuck through here anymore. And that's a real shame because it was absolutely on the cards for a long time where they could have made that play. Rockets going out from Pavel, not hitting anything. Kinderik here having an absolute field day on the MG, taking out infantry left and right through this wheat field. But VLK, they've made up ground. Nvidia's probably going to snuff this one out though, alongside Elway here. Nvidia gets 1 kill there. Al-Sad and Pavel, they're just laying down next to each other. Nvidia takes out Pavel with a little bit more peek, and he's going to take Al-Sad as well, and he does indeed. Al-Sad goes down, and now we look. That push has mostly gone. The Snip here, just controlling this open field. If he turns around, he can absolutely farm away on this southern side. He's taking shots though, so he's going to have to bandage up. But there's no room to breathe here for VLK. There's no room at all. They're not going to make any ground up through this mid site. Mike Lowry goes down to Raptor, I suspect, and it's just 1 True Bob left to control this. But even if they get through 1 True Bob, Snip's there to make up trades, and even if they get past Snip through 1 True Bob and they get up to this bridge area, DC are going to know that they're coming due to the fact that they've made those kills, and Paramax can just turn his MG and shred away. So this is not particularly going well here for VLK, and I don't see how they're going to make it back. Tomino is up in this window with the MG. Nice little spot here, looking to shoot across this open field. Just keep their heads down. However, I think they are looking to get trades up against him. And he stopped shooting, suspects a reload, potentially to bandage though. His shots did come in. Winston in a fantastic position, looking to get S-Tech up onto these rocks. And he can control a couple of these exits. Certainly control this one just in the center of the screen here, where we're going to see Benny and Chabosk come out here as they look to peek. S-Tech though looking towards his to control that exit, and S-Tech goes down pretty quick. Well, we've got 10 minutes left. We're going to see if VLK have anything up their sleeves. However, again, the waterway has been covered off, So now, this is just a 3-lane map, unfortunately for VLK. A little bit of a classic Call of Duty map layout at this stage. They've got this wheat field that they can try and push through. They've got a waterway and they've got the road. But other than that, it is just death. There's no way they're going to make an open field run all the way across. The outpost has been marked there by Elwahir's squad. Kinderix MG is just shooting towards it. So that means even if VLK manage to get the spawns off without dying, they're just going to sit and they're going to be suppressed as soon as they spawn. He doesn't have a view, he's just shooting towards pings and just shooting towards where he believes that those players are. And I suspect he's just getting those pings off Elwahir. If we pop across to Elwahir, whether he has his binos out or his gun. I think he had his binos out for a second, then we saw his gun come back into action. Shooting across. Raptor does get a couple of trades outside, perhaps coming across this waterway. Phyonix goes down, One True Bob goes down now. A good MG position here, and if they can find one just to control this crossing, it's going to force players to come all the way back 3 checkpoints to come control this waterway. So, you know, this waterway is still on. If they can control that crossing, get a little trade versus One True Bob, you know, they can still break through this zone. And that's going to be their best bet. They've got to commit through at this stage. Al-Sad needs to make it. He's got to let his infantry go first, wait for his infantry to make the trade, and then they can push. Now, obviously, they're not going to know how many players are up in this zone. Paramax goes down again. However, Phyonix gets the trade. However, he's getting dinged up and damaged there as he crosses this field. I don't quite know how he's not dead. There you go. Finally goes down. And Elwahir here is made up great ground, but that's mainly because Al-Sad has moved away now into this middle area. Hang on, Raptor has actually won that trade versus One True Bob, and he's up ahead of Al-Sad. Now, if Al-Sad can get his squad spawned in, they can make real damage and real ground here. This could be the play for them at this stage. Now, one squad inside that cap circle could force a bit of a retreat from DC. Al-Sad goes down. He's not careful enough. He's got to get his infantry in to help him out. Now, Aztec might even have a view here across to them if he gets a little bit of a vantage point. If he can get a little bit of height. But this is the zone. If VLK can make DC play, then it'll be fantastic, and we'll be able to go into game 3 and see a third half hour of this 18v18 semi-final. Elwahir and Snip have pushed really far up, and here we go toward Al-Sad. Now they're starting to get it. Now they're pushing up through. They've got numbers into this zone. Great rocket through from Pavel there. Paramax is dropping back. See, this is what they needed to happen. They've got to get those rockets to take out infantry and just force these guys back through. Paramax is up. He's in that window. He's going to get some kills here. Al-Sad is still alive, but he's vulnerable up in the window. It only takes a shot to kill. It's absolutely possible for them to take him out of that window, but Al-Sad goes down and players respond into that middle zone. A little bit of panic from DC, I suspect, as they come through here. And they close off this middle channel. What's nice from DC is they've not given up any other zone to be able to close off that waterway. They responded nicely with just enough bodies, but VLK are still pushing everything they can through that central zone. And I think that's the play. Give up that southern side. It's a fool's errand to push those open fields, only to find yourself in a weak field, only to find yourself in more open fields when you can take a couple of covered passageways to get across. Paramax still alive within that 3-story house. Rockets going in at him all the time. And Vadi and Nvidia here push across the open field using the VLK smoke as cover or concealment to be able to get across and cover that open field. Now Vadi doesn't need to push. I think that's a misplay from him, quite frankly, but if I'm honest, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's not too important. It might be that he doesn't have a view down here from this little feeder, not feeder, little grain storage. Quite possibly he doesn't. as that vegetation there just covers them up. But Triffid has pushed up so far here. No squad leader, unfortunately, but they've managed to get up to the bridge, and this is the most amount of ground that we've seen VLK actually take all day. So that's really nice play. It's nice to see that they've recognised where the opening is. Now, the thing for DC is they're not going to move their outposts because they want to have full map coverage. So if you can wipe out his squad as they come down into the mid portion of the map, it's going to take them a long time to get across and into the fight across those open fields. However, Ghost Recon squad looks like they've pushed across Steven's squad. They're still right in the mix as well, and Phyonix wins a couple of fantastic trades into the middle. And VLK has stopped pushing as much, and Al-Sad's gone to the southern side, but Elwahir's patient. You should know this. He hasn't given up the southern side. It's not going to happen. They do take him down. Nvidia's still up, but the outpost is still up here, so they can just redeploy 6 players into this weak field, and you're back to square one, quite frankly, with your inability to push it. Nvidia with a couple of nice kills. Petrona's still alive. And suddenly reinforcements come through. Just give up this wheat field, guys. Don't go for it. Put everything you can. You know, even if you take the wheat field. Even if you push up, it needs to be with the view that you take out players like Snip here from across this field. You just need to go for that middle point. Just go through the center there. Winston's still alive on that central island, still just hanging out, making sure people can't cross. He may have gone down a couple of times, but there's no real contest for him to be able to get into that area. Al-Sad's pushed all the way up. He's going to win his 1v1 versus Snip, and if he's quick now, this option's there. However, where's the MGs from VLK? Martin's there. You know, they need that to cover across this open field here. I think Tomino is still holding that down for them. I suspect he's got that view across. Now, Al-Sad, he might have actually broken through. He's under the bridge. Will DC know that he's got across through? Not sure, but now it's just a game of speed at this point. He's got to make this quick if they can do it. Now, Sky is pushing back. They may know he's broken past here. They may have this inkling of an idea that he's gone through. Al-Sad, as he keeps pushing, Sky is looking the wrong way. Now Al-Sad can get his outpost up, and he's broken through. It's 2 minutes till the end of the game. We do have overtime if they are capping, and it's contested. Al-Sad's into the zone, into the strong point. Just needs to get his outpost up and get his squad mates in. Now they've broken through with 3 more guys. Now Sky has definitely noticed this, and he's definitely going to start responding and picks up Triffid. Snip comes down as well, responding very nicely. But will they... The interesting thing will be whether they bring someone like Steven back from the center zone out of one of their garrisons and into the back of checkpoint. However, Al-Sad, it'll be interesting to see what he does here, because he could absolutely keep pushing. I don't know if he's got his outpost. He must have his outpost up here. Pavel wins the trade versus Snip very nicely. He must have his outpost up here so he can get those players spawned in. It's back there, look. It's not been 2 minutes since he last placed it, but that spawn wave does give them cap pressure onto checkpoint. 1 minute to the end of the game now. This is absolutely the time to make the pressure. DC have responded nicely. Elwahir's come down south. Kills 2, kills Pavel, kills Martin. S7K8's there if he can win that trade. Gets taken out by Triffid. DC Winston now is pushed through. And it's still being capped by VLK here. Got another squad leader through the middle as well. D-Word there has pushed it. We'll see Billy here looking to hold that angle, but 7K8 making a great move. There could be an angle out of this house here through this side window, and where he's able to pick out players like Billy and Steven. Billy gets his Steven gets his outpost up in the point, but immediately taken out by S7K8. And VLK are just starting to swarm this point. D-Word goes down. Hopefully he's got his outpost up into that zone. Got 15 seconds left. Well, a couple of seconds left, and we're going into overtime here as we come to the close. However, it's being capped back by DC as Steven's squad spawns in on that outpost. S7K8 unable to peek that window for long enough. But another spawn wave comes in from VLK. Al-Sad's still alive. And they just need to keep this pressure up. Keep the pressure going. Got overtime here. Elwahir's coming down south. All DC need to do now at this stage is just get bodies into the point to stop that cap for long enough that they can fully recap it. D-Word is still pushing through. Al-Sad's still up. Their outposts are safe for the time being. Ghost Recon's still pressured so far up. I don't want to leave this zone because these trades are so vital here. They've retaken this house. Paramax is back up, able to take out players like Chobo. Now Mike Lowry's in the window. He's taking out Pavel. And these outposts have gone down, and unfortunately Al-Sad's gone down as well. It's kind of down to D-Word's squad here. However, he goes down as well to Snip or Vadi. And it's just a couple of players, and I think that is gonna be the game. I don't see how they can come back into this. Not with Paramax's... Well, Paramax goes down, which is nice to see, but Steven's pushed up. He's gonna wipe this outpost as he runs through this zone. He does indeed. No spawn wave there. And that's all the squad leaders gone from this area now, and that is going to be the game. That's a really nice play from VLK towards the end there. It's a shame they just couldn't commit into it. I think Al-Sad probably could have got his outpost back a little bit deeper, just to allow room for D-Word and spread that squad through. Perhaps they could have committed the third squad leader into the point as well. Would have been really nice to see. However, they've been reset all the way back, and that is going to be GG 2-0 to DC, and they move into the final. Unlucky for VLK. However, they put up a fantastic showing at the end there. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this 18s v18s cast, and I will potentially see you again for another 18s in the future, and if not, definitely a squadline battles on a Tuesday at about 7:30 PM UTC. So thank you very much for watching, and